Hey friends, hey. How's everybody doing tonight? Lois with Ellie Grace's Attic, and I said earlier today I was going to craft. Better late than never, right? Some stuff came up and I just got sideways today, but like I've been itching to do some spring crafts. I have several planned, and so yeah, here we go. We're gonna make something out of these things here. I have this cute little truck, if you can see. It's a little chipboard truck that I found at Hobby Lobby. It was listed for $4.99, but I got it like it was 50% off that day. So we're gonna work with that. And this little wood cutout I got also from Hobby Lobby for 40% off. All the wood cutouts were 40% off. So we're gonna work with that. Also, I've got this beautiful gray and white buffalo plaid fabric, also Hobby Lobby, and all I bought for this was 1/4 yard. Just so you know, you don't have to buy a whole yard at a time. You can break it down and get it by the quarters. And I found some cute little fabric flowers that I had in my stash. And let me see if I can move the lighting just a little bit. Maybe you could see a little bit better. Aren't these cute? So we're gonna use these. Sorry, the lighting's not perfect. Still working on that, but I got some cute little fabric flowers. I've got some buttons I pulled out of stash. We got some good old paint. So we're gonna see what we can come up with. Everybody in my house is otherwise occupied, so we're gonna craft. I was like, I'm going upstairs to craft. So I'm gonna start off, I'm gonna paint this truck. I wasn't sure if I was going to paint it, but I think I am. I'm just going to put a little bit of white paint on it. And hopefully this dries for me while I'm doing the, yeah, I'm going to use this brush. I'm just lightly putting a coat just so it won't be so dark under the material. That's all we're doing. If y'all are watching live, I'm going to leave the wheels blank though, because I'm going to actually paint those out, I think. We'll see. If y'all are watching live, holler. Let me know in the comments where y'all are watching from, what you are up to tonight. This doesn't have to be totally full coverage. Like I said, I'm just trying to get that darker gray. It's not really gray. I didn't want it to show through the white of the material so dark. We want it to be light and springy. So again, just get a nice base coat of white on there. I'm not really worried about the sides. Y'all make sure you're sprinkling the video for me. That would be so helpful. Let me see, I'm gonna do that. It's been a minute, I think, since I was live with the craft. But crafting is one of my love languages, so we're gonna craft tonight. I do have a few other cute spring crafts to bring to you, but this is something easy. I think it's gonna be easy if it turns out like I have it planned in my head, right? So, something cute just to jazz up our little entryway. Alright, so I got my little truck covered with white paint. I left the wheels because I'm going to actually paint those out here in a minute. So I'm going to put this to the side, and we're going to put a base coat of white. We're going to dry brush this. This isn't getting covered. We're just going to be able to see the white. I'm going to cut the tag off real quick. Again, this little thing was actually $7.99, and I got it for 40% off. It's about $4. 4 or 5 bucks. So it comes with the little hanger, and I'm probably not going to change that. I don't know if I'll hang it or use it as a plaque, but I'm just going to kind of douse some paint on there like so. Again, we're going to kind of cover this with the, so just getting white on it. I don't often buy wood cutouts like this just because I build signs, right? That's what I do. Now let me push my buttons back a little bit. But it was 40% off, and I immediately said I want to do something springy with that when I saw it, so I nabbed it up. And you know, that's okay sometimes. It already had the nice little detail scrolling on it, so it was easier to buy it than for me to make it, to take the time to build it for just a simple craft, right? If somebody wanted it, I totally would build that out, you know what I'm saying? But when they're on sale, it's kind of hard to pass them up. All right, you'll see I'm kind of leaving the edges. I'm just kind of dry brushing on the edges, so it's leaving some of that raw wood kind of peeking through, just to kind of give it that rustic look. Oops, I went over on the, I guess I probably now I gotta do the sides because I dripped. That happens. So yeah, I'm leaving some of the natural wood colors showing through, so I'm not totally covering it with white. That gives it, like I said, that rustic look. That's what I like. If you don't like that, then by all means, total coverage of the white or whatever color you choose. I chose white just because we're going to add some color in here in just a minute or so. I'm going to put a little bit of white onto this palette here. And see. Yeah, if y'all don't mind, sprinkle the video with your friends. That's just a nice way to say share. Facebook algorithms don't always like it when you tell people to actually share. So we appreciate that. That helps us to be seen and helps me to help my family. So I appreciate that. I'm just brushing the sides white because I dripped over. So yeah, we just want to make it look uniform. So I'm just lightly brushing the edge. It looks cute already. We haven't even got to the real fun part. So really, I bought this piece 40% off, that piece 40% off, or 50% off this one. So that was $5,250, and this one was about $5. So all in all, it costs under $10 for this little sign that we're making. And the buttons I already had, the flowers, like I said, I found. So I've had those for Lord knows how long. The material I bought, that was probably about $2. So right now we're still under $10 for what we're making. And you have the satisfaction of saying, I made that. All right, so I'm gonna put my brush in some water, wipe my hands. Y'all don't forget, if you're watching live, wave at me in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from, what you are up to tonight. So if you can see, I'm trying to get it in the right light. I just put a light coat of white on that. I'll put that over here and let it dry for a bit. And on our little truck, I just put a light coat of white on that as well, just so under the material it'll be a bright white. And we're gonna paint out the tires. So now what I wanna do, and if my paint's mostly dry, if it's not all dry, that's okay. I'm gonna lay down, I bought a 1/4 yard of this pretty, it's a gray buffalo plaid, and I'm gonna take my truck and just lay it face down onto my material like so, and somewhere I have a pen. Yeah, I'm sorry, the lighting is not the best tonight. I'm still working on that, but we'll get it right one of these days. But I was like, you know what, I'm going live. I miss my friends, I miss crafting, I want to do a craft. So we're going live. Hold on. I think I need a different pen. Hold that thought. Let me see. You never know what's gonna happen live. Actually, you know what? So I have lead in it. Let me find a pencil. Sorry about that angle. Let me make sure. Bless America. Hold on, I gotta find something that's gonna leave a mark for what we're doing. Okay, how many pens can we go through? Okay. Okay, I got a pencil this time. Let me see if this is, yeah, that's gonna leave a mark in a good way. All right, so we are, and some of my paint's coming, I think, or else I must have touched that. I'm getting paint everywhere. You're just gonna outline your truck onto the material as best you can. And if it's not, if it goes over a little bit, that's totally okay too. It might look like a hot mess while in the process, but I promise, I'm tracing the wheels, but we're gonna cut those off, but anyway. What I was originally saying, it might look like a hot mess in the process, but once you get to the finished product, to the end, it always turns out cute. Or at least that's what I feel. And I mean that with any project I've ever done, whether it was helping my kids or whatever, not just because I'm doing it. Just always like, oh, that turned out better. Now, don't get me wrong, I have had some hot mess, straight up fails. So I'm hoping that this isn't one of those. So, Kim, thank you. Thank you. Are you talking about the material, I'm assuming, or that whole project? I hope it comes out cute, but we'll see. Or at least like it does in my head. All right, so I do have an outline on my material. So now we're gonna cut that out. I got my material scissors or fabric scissors. I can't talk, words are hard sometimes, especially in the evening, but we're gonna get through it together. Get you some good fabric scissors, okay? And by that, I mean a dedicated pair of scissors made that you only use for fabric. You can't be cutting paper. Like I had these from my people because they'll just cut any old willy-nilly thing, right? They'll cut, and these actually, I think, have been hijacked by my people because they're not as sharp as they used to be. Once you start cutting paper and everything else with them, they get kind of dull. And then they start fraying your ribbon and your material. So get you some scissors and hide them or label them as fabric scissors only. Like our teenage daughter knows. She'll come ask, can I use the fabric scissor to cut so-and-so t-shirt or so-and-so jeans? So you see, I only used a corner of that. And I still have all this left to craft whatever with. So that's gonna go in our fabric box for later use. Always save everything. Just make sure you do it in an organized manner. All right, so now I'm just going to cut out my shape as best I can. It's going to take a minute. This is kind of a tedious part just because I'm trying not to mess up the shape too bad that I cut out. And if you go a little outside the line, that's probably better, because the line that you trace, because you can always trim it afterwards, but you can't really add to it. Does that make sense? Okay. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. It's kind of strange going on live at night, but I like it. My only regret is that I didn't get in my pajamas first. Okay, well, my line right here is a little bit lighter than I thought it would be, but we're gonna go for it. It's a little tricky cutting a shape out of material, but just stick with it. Follow along that line that you cut. If you have to go slow like I'm going, that's okay. But I think the end result is going to be super cute. You could also do this. We're going to decoupage this in the end, but I've done this same decoupage effect with, gosh, you can pretty much use anything that'll take a glue, right? I've decoupaged with, and that's all that means is glue. You're gluing some type of medium. So I've done decoupage with magazine covers and tissue paper and scrapbook paper, newspaper, and decoupage is a great art technique to do with your kits. Super easy. All you need is, I use Mod Podge, the matte finish. It's a water-based sealer and glue, but you can decoupage with good old-fashioned Elmer's glue, the white with the orange little cap that you got in grade school. Doesn't have to be Mod Podge. So yeah, you can decoupage with all kind of different mediums, but today I'm going to use this material because, number one, I love me some buffalo plaid, and I saw this gray. Well, my friend Holly actually sent me a picture of some pink and white, and I looked up pink and white buffalo plaid, which I love pink, but I couldn't find that because I went looking for that thinking, I need some of that in my life, but I found this pretty gray. And I thought, you know, it's still on the pastel side, and it's pretty. It's soft enough, I think, to go with all the pretty flowers. So now I am going to cut the wheels off, so I'm just going to go straight down here because we're going to paint out our wheels just to kind of make our truck, I mean, we want our truck to be sort of realistic, right? So we're going to actually paint the wheels. Ta-da, finally. All right. For those of you that might be just chiming in, I'm Lois with Ellie Grace's Attic, and normally when you see me, I am promoting signs. We take old treasures and give them new life with handcrafted love, and we primarily do that through painting wooden signs. That's my heart, that's my passion. But I love to create just anything crafty. So I love to share with you my crafts that I do. Hopefully it inspires you to do DIY crafts and home decor of your own, because making pretty stuff for your home or to give away for others, it doesn't have to be expensive. So that's what we're doing tonight, is we're just doing a fun little craft. So this is what we have. Is that not the cutest little truck that you ever did see? So we are going to glue this bad boy on there. So I'm going to turn that over. I've got my Mod Podge or my glue. I've got a handy dandy little sponge, and we are just going to, maybe if I can get this open, I'm just going to kind of splatter the glue on there just to get a little base coat on the bottom of the stove. Get that all over. It's really good to use. You can use a brush for this, but I like using a sponge. It just kind of evens out the glue and doesn't really leave too many major like air pockets or anything. Take our material that we cut out, and we're going to try to get that on there evenly as best you can. Now you got to be quick at this point because the glue does dry pretty quick, but you do have like a little bit of time to move it around if you need to. And like I said, if you go over a little bit, that's okay, because you can trim that afterwards, right? I think I actually went down. There we go. We're going to make that work, so I'm going to trim that down a little bit. All right, now I'm actually gonna kind of do a light coat on the top. It's okay because it's gonna dry clear, so you can always, you know, glue over the top like that. That just kind of helps seal it in. I did go over a little bit on the edges, so we'll trim that out here a little bit. Cute. Get that in water. Hey Danielle, hey girl, hey girl, hey. So this is what we have. Isn't this cute? I'm gonna trim up. You can see I went over just a little bit, so I'm gonna get my fabric scissors and trim that up just a little bit. Look, I didn't even take the tag off the back because we're going to hot glue this down in a second. Just going to trim a little bit if you can, the best you can. Just kind of get in there. Just kind of snip it. Y'all let me know if y'all like this. Sometimes I do lives at lunchtime. And you know, if you guys like our lives and you want to get notified when we go live, you can click those 3 little dots in the upper right hand corner and Facebook will notify you. Doesn't mean you can, if you can't watch, don't worry about it. Watch it later and let us know. Just type replay in the comments if you're watching the replay. Get off of there. It's not cooperating with me, my scissors. But my question was originally, hey Danielle, I love you. Danielle's always hanging out with me live. Do y'all like them better at lunchtime, or do you like an occasional evening live? Let me know what y'all think. Because if you like it in the evenings, I'll try to do more. Evenings are sometimes hard. But when I find myself like tonight with a few extra minutes, I'm like, I think I'm crafting something. Danielle likes the evenings. Cool, that's good to know. And you'll see, this is what's fun about fabric. I hope you can maybe see. It's starting to already see how it's fraying, which is really kind of cool. So it's really just going to give it a fun look. So we have our truck. We're going to paint our, well, I'm going to put it on first, and then I'm going to paint. Make sure I got the top. I'm going to hot glue our truck to our sign. That's where we're headed with this. So we're gonna have this like that. Isn't that cute? I got both of these pieces at Hobby Lobby, girls. So if you want to make, now I have seen these this wooden cutout, the back. Hold on, and I'm gonna get it out in a second. The little sign I'm using, the background, I got that at Hobby Lobby, both of them, but I've seen this big piece at Walmart too. They have blank wood cutouts as well. The truck might be at Walmart, but I got this one at Hobby Lobby. So I'm just gonna I have it where I want it, sort of just below half or center. And I'm just going to kind of tilt it up like that, just to mark so I don't lose my spot. I'm just going to put some hot glue under this baby. Just a couple of, it's not a heavy piece. It's not super heavy, but I'm putting a little, like a generous amount of hot glue under there. So we're going to, let me make sure I'm straight. I don't want to have a crooked truck. All right. So I'm just going to kind of hold it down for a minute, make sure it sticks. And this is what we have. Isn't that cute? And look, like I said, this background could have been any color. I chose white because we're fixing that, you know, we're bringing the color in with our elements. I chose the fabric just because I love this buffalo plaid, this gray. But you could certainly do this with paper, newspaper, craft paper. You could get your kids to color. You could do decoupage just with 100 different things, but with scrapbook paper and with fabric, the choices are not only pretty, but they're like limitless, really, the designs that you could get. Danielle, no. I bet if we measured this, Danielle, it would not be straight. She says her truck would be crooked. It's okay. We're eyeballing it tonight. So now, let me paint my wheels next. I need some black. So get a little bit of black and whoop, that kind of dolloped out there. Let's see. Just I think part of it was dry in the cap and it just kind of all decided to come out at once. I don't need a lot, so I'm just going to try to put a little tiny drop on there, which is not always easy. All right, I am, let's see if I can, I'm just going to get some black paint on there, and I'm just going to kind of draw that little hubcap shape in the middle. And I'm not really going for the sides, so I'm going to try to, nobody's really going to see that. They're just going to be like one-dimensional, right? The difference in the height is going to kind of give it some 3D dimension and some interest, but they're only going to be looking at the front of it. So I'm not worried about painting the sides of my truck or the right. So let me see if I can come over here. Again, these aren't perfect. I'm eyeballing. This would be fun to get a few of these little cutouts, like catch them when they're these little chipboard pieces. And I want to say, I'll move that little frayed piece of material because I want to keep that. I don't want to paint it. There's an aisle that has wood cutouts, but right next to that, there's an aisle that has this chipboard, and it's kind of like thick cardboard. And they have letters, and it's a little less expensive than the wood cutouts, but they have all kind of shapes, letters, designs. So it's a really inexpensive paint project to do with your kids. Just get them some different colors of paint, get them some chipboard shapes, put down some newspaper, freezer paper, whatever, or put them out in the grass, and yeah, let them go crazy with some paints and some chipboard shapes. So, all right, so we got that part painted. We're going to do white walls, right? So we need some white in the middle of our tire. And this is really, the only painting I did was my background shape. I don't think this brush is worthy. That one probably need, in fact, I probably need to cull that out of there. It was kind of a crazy looking brush. I was like, I'm not gonna get a very good result with that. I'm not really liking this either, but we're gonna go for it. We're just painting the inside of this. Get just a little bit of paint on there. Again, I'm kind of picking up this piece. I'll have to Mod Podge it again, maybe. I missed my edges, but I think I'm gonna be okay. Yeah, it'll glue back down. It's still sticky. So I painted out the tires. Isn't that cute? So cute. All right, and now we're just gonna add in our color, and this is where our flowers and our buttons are gonna come in. You know what, how do I open this? It's a good question. I thought it had, oh, is this it? Aha, haha, found it. All right. Now we're just gonna pull out. This is just a bunch of little fabric flowers, like I said, that I had in my stash, this little pack. And these pretty pastels are what drew me to it. This one's pink. And I am just gonna kinda glue those back here. So we're gonna have a spring truck full of flowers, because that's what we have in the spring. All right, so I think what I'm gonna do is, I don't wanna glue the flower down flat. I just wanna kinda glue the center so the petals kinda have some movement to them. So what I did was I just grabbed some random buttons. I don't even know if I have enough. I'm just gonna kinda put down a pea size of glue right in the middle of my flower, and I'm gonna pick one of these buttons and just kind of stick it right there in the center and press it down. And that's gonna hold down. It's gonna make a mess because it just came through, but that's okay because it's hot glue. So we're gonna, it'll, you know, you can peel off the little, hold on. The little wisp, I call them wispies, you know, the little wispies of glue. You like it, Danielle? Thank you. You should totally do this with the kiddos. This would be fun. It would be fun if you took them and let them pick out their own material to cover their truck in. All right, so I just had to get the wispies. So now I've got, let's see, I got 2 pink. Oh, we got a pretty green one. I think I might put the green one down here. And at the end, and you can get these fabric flowers. You could buy a bunch of artificial flowers at Hobby Lobby, Dollar Tree, you know, just the artificial flowers, and you can pop those off and you can use those. These kinds of flowers you will more than likely find, see, these are just flat, and they're really made for like, well, any kind of craft project, but you're going to find them in the scrapbooking department at any craft section of any store should have scrapbooking materials, and you'll find these flowers in there. They're made, that the holes in the middle so you can put brads in them to connect them, or buttons or whatever. You can find these kinds of flat flowers. You can find some more of 3D flowers with different shapes and stuff in the scrapbooking section, but you could certainly use the artificial flowers as well. So just whatever you can find. It probably would even be cute with some dried flowers. All right, I'm just kind of digging, seeing I've got some smaller flowers, so I think I'm going to use a couple of these smaller ones. They're kind of stuck together. Okay. Oh, I wonder if yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take 2. These were 2 stuck together. So I'm just going to take the top one and kind of twist it to where the petals are offset. So it looks like it makes the flower look a little bit fuller. So I think I'm going to put that one right there. Now I'm going to have to glue this one though in layers because of the way that it is. It doesn't have a hole. Ooh, hot glue's hot. All right, let me see what button I'm going to use for this. I'm going to go with purple. Just because I'm going to go with purple. Well, that one didn't want to come off my finger. I am going to use the end of this paintbrush because, yeah, hot glue's hot, in case y'all didn't know. This is so cute. Get in there, glue gun. All right, I think I might have room for one more in my truck. One more flower. What color do I want it to be? I think I want it to be this dark. I have a little dark pink one. So we're going to do that maybe. Twist it around. I think I'm going to put it up there. This is so cute. Yep. Okay. I'll put it right there. Whoa, Joe. Kind of let out too much glue there. Get in there. All right. Let me do this button. I can't grab my button. So cute. Excuse me. All right, I'm just pulling my wispies off. They tend to get everywhere, but you know what? That's crafting. If you use hot glue, you're going to get wispies. There we go. Sometimes they take a minute to come off. I'm trying. Bear with me, bifocals comments. I didn't know that. What didn't you know, Danielle? What did I say? I'm like, wait, which part are you commenting on? Okay. All right. I think. Oh, are you talking about my hot glue comment? That's funny. Yes, hot glue is hot, if that's what you're talking about, Danielle. It's like, that's funny. I'm just pulling the little wispies off. But I think that's it. So here is our cute little spring truck with flowers on it. How cute is that? So, thanks, Danielle. Super cute, super cute. We got this base cut out and it came with the hanger. I usually put a bow on stuff, but I don't think I'm gonna put a bow on that because I kind of like it just like it is, because we kind of have a lot going on right there. I don't know. And sometimes I'll change this out, but I think I'm gonna leave it on there because you can kind of set it wherever. It won't stand up on its own, but you can like lean it on a mantle if you wanted, or you could hang it. So I got this Hobby Lobby. It was $7.99 originally. It was 40% off, so that's about $5. The wood chip cutout was I think $4.99, and I got it for 50% off, so it was $2.50. The material, I bought a quarter of a yard. It was about $2. So that's $5, $7.50, $9.50. So we're under $10 for the materials. And then the flowers I had, the buttons I had, the paint I had. And all I did was trace my truck onto the material, cut it out, glued it down with Mod Podge, painted my little tires, and then put whatever. You could do this little design for any holiday. Like you could put flags back there for the 4th of July. You could do pumpkins for the fall, a tree for Christmas. You could get like a little faux tree. The possibilities are endless. So this design could be dressed up for any holiday. And of course, you don't have to use fabric like I did. You can use paper or even just paint it. You don't even have to cover it. But the buffalo plaid in gray was way too cute for me to pass up. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me and doing a spring craft. I hope this inspires you to do something springy and crafty. And just always remember, home decor doesn't have to be super expensive. You could totally do it yourself and have fun and make memories in the process. So I love you guys, and until I see you again, happy crafting. Good night.